It is well known how much over the centuries woman has struggled to cover the scars that evolution, cultures, religions, and prejudice of all sorts had imprinted on her, in the belief that they remained indelible and always visible. The woman has always played a role inferior to that of man, and being excluded from multiple social and cultural activities inevitably meant that she failed to acquire the right, even the most basic one, such as the right to speak. According to each era in which she has lived starting from the archaic civilization up to the present day, it is evident that women have always tried to rebel against a society that oppressed, belittled, and undervalued them. With the passage of centuries, women has been able to fight for her own rights and merits, winning so many but, to this day unfortunately, still not enough of what they are actually entitled to. All these hard battles let us imagine, with a bit of imagination, a warrior queen who, in her solid armor forged with strength, courage, and determination, came to regain a good part of the kingdom that would always have been rightfully hers, that of recognition toward herself and the whole society, up to the point of wearing a soldier's uniform today, triggering one of the greatest processes of transformation in the military world. History tells us of the existence of many women warriors who were able to counter this gender gap, who made their way in a society where men were the only ones who had to hold power, women who were able to fight with the determination and courage of men. Choosing to become a soldier or a female soldier is the result of an unwavering eternal calling. The Italian army, a fundamental component of the Italian armed forces, has contributed to the birth and growth of the Italian nation in times of peace and war. Through its ideals of tenacity and cohesion, it has made an enormous contribution through its profound spirit of service. As early in the 1960s, consideration was given to being able to allow women to be part of the army. Having implemented this, civil society began to call for the emancipation of women, to give them a way to gain total awareness of their rights, including that of their rightful role in many professions, some of which until then had been exclusively male. In 2000, women officially obtained consent to be allowed to enlist in the armed forces. In the United Kingdom armed forces, women still outnumber men, so too in the US military. In Germany, there is a steady increase in the number of women enlisting in the German military. Mediation plays a key function in communicative dynamics and processes. And if one analyzed in a relation to the gender issues, one would notice an immediate change in the status of women. Even today, women very often face violence to various kinds, including psychological and labor violence. In the military, sexism and discrimination are still often present because Italy has long been a victim of a patriarchal society that perceived women only as wives and mothers. The female struggle for progress toward gender equality has been tortuous and marked by centuries of injustice, obstacles, and sacrifices. The presence of women in the armed forces has forced a significant change in operation and mentality. The woman soldier makes up a good portion of the total number of military personnel. The woman soldier is called upon to deal with a situation in which female sensitivity becomes crucial to perceive the state of mind and feelings of individuals who have suffered abuse or violence. Among the many impediments that the female soldier still faces on a daily basis is the work-life balance as a woman and mothers. The female soldier doesn't to be endowed with more character than a man, despite the fact that much of society could easily ask questions about this. Fortunately, today's society has evolved and continues to evolve. In the work context, the creation of integrative culture that analyzes the capabilities of personnel belonging to the male and female sex must be complementary. The female soldier, thanks to all these resources that precisely because she is a woman, she carries innately within herself, biological and cultural, confirms the hope that by now certain legacies based on mistrust and discrimination of all kinds, not only against the female gender, will soon be only a memory.